Mo, what went wrong today?
Selection. It was a complacent, potentially even arrogant selection, and I think that crept through to the team. You know, I was talking to someone just now and they made a brilliant point I hadn't thought of, right? You're Wilfried Zaha, you're the main man in Palace. You're looking at Arsenal away, yeah? To be fair, you're even looking at it as an audition. No disrespect to Crystal Palace, but Wilfried Zaha, he had a big money move and it didn't work out for him. I'm sure he's got a point to prove that he can cut it at the highest level, play in Champions League. Wan-Bissaka, very sought after player. You know, you're looking for an audition as well. These players are already very motivated. You don't have to give them any more motivation. Transfer window's just around the corner. So you Wilfried Zaha, you're sitting there, you're thinking Maitland-Niles has been in very good form recently. He's been one of the, you know, I've been coming and speaking to you after games and he's been the name on my lips, talking about how good he is. He's in a rich vein of form and Zaha must have been thinking, yeah, I'm going to be up against it. And then you get the team lineups and you see Maitland-Niles isn't playing. All right, so who am I up against? Carl Jenkinson, who has played a handful of games in the last year and he's up against their main man. Now,
well, I must say, before the game when I saw the team, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, no.
But tell me, what do you think was going through Wilfried Zaha's mind when he saw that?
Well, he'd be rubbing his hands.
Rubbing his hands together. And to me, that is just strange. I don't know what to say about Emery's decision there, because has he not seen Palace play? I mean, clearly he's done his research. At this level, everyone does their research. Clearly he's seen the videos. Clearly you know that he is their danger man. It's not Benteke, who hasn't scored in a calendar year until Arsenal decided to give some Christian charity on Easter Sunday. But, you know, I'm baffled by that decision. So that complacent, potentially arrogant lineup has crept into the team for me.
Is it a terminal loss?
No, because, you know, as I said in the last time we were speaking after a defeat and you asked me about top four, I said it would be ridiculous of me to say we can't get top four when we're fourth. You know, that would be a stupid thing to say, you know, unnecessarily negative. However, there's 4 teams that are really, really in it. And you look at some of our recent results and you just think, man, we could have pulled away. We really, really could have pulled away and given ourselves some breathing space. So it's very, very disappointing to me. You know, I just kind of feel like we've been talking about, will we get top four? And we've all kind of had our opinions and made our predictions. All bets are off now. I'm not going to fall into that trap of making predictions anymore because
why is it?
no one wants it, Robbie.
You were there with me during the week. We were over in Napoli. We saw a team well organised, defending against top players.
Top players, yeah.
Top players and not giving them a sniff.
Yeah.
And then they come here today, and every time a set piece comes, something that they've been doing very well this season, didn't defend set pieces, didn't look switched on, letting players turn them.
Robbie, it's the lineup, isn't it? And I think as a player in the dressing room, when you get that lineup, you must think to yourself like, oh, what? So we're not taking this seriously today? You know,
so basically what you're saying then, those players that came in today, they're not good enough for Arsenal.
No, I'm not saying they're not good enough for Arsenal, right? You know, you are going to have a squad, but
are they good enough? Are they good enough that, because everybody else, all the other teams over this weekend that were played in Europe, utilised their squad?
Yeah.
City did, I saw Tottenham, they made a lot of changes, right? They utilised their squad, right? We've utilised our squad, but we can see when we utilise our squad, there's major differences. Does that show that these guys that come in, they're just saying they ain't ready?
Robbie, listen, a lot of people watch Arsenal Fantasy if they want to see people vent for them, right? I'm not going to cuss any players.
I'm not a vent, I'm being real now. I'm being real.
I'm going to be real. People might not like the roundabout way I'm going to approach this topic. I'm not going to cuss any players. I'm not going to swear at them. I'm not going to do anything like that. But what I'm going to say is that, look, Emery came into this team and he only had a limited budget. I think he's used that really well with Leno, who's playing brilliantly now. Torreira, I think he's been brilliant as well. Even Lacazette, when we signed Lacazette, it was Morata, Lacazette, Lukaku, all signed at the same time. We got the cheapest of the bunch, but we got the best out of the bunch, yeah? We have used our resources well, but you can't do a complete overhaul. Now, Emery has seen certain players and he needs to come to the conclusion that they're not at the level that we want to be at. And yeah, I'll mention a player here, Mustafi. Let's be honest now. If Emery, I don't blame Emery for playing him and using him, because you can't overhaul the whole squad. Mavropanos has been injured. Koscielny, you have to manage him. Socrates suspended. It's not easy. Monreal injuries, all of that sort of stuff. So you have to play him. I can understand him being played. But now in the summer, you need to establish who are the weak links, and you need to go and make those ruthless decisions. So for me, that's one thing that you have to manage him out. You need to say, look, you're not part of the long-term plans. Someone like Elneny, he's good enough to play 5 games a year for us. You know, he can drop back in defence in terms of a crisis or whatever. He's not good enough to, at the business end of the season, to be paired up with another defensively minded midfielder or a deep-sitting midfielder in Guendouzi and expect us to go and dominate the game and win the game. What I want to see, you know that game against Newcastle, we won it and we were talking about, is it a great performance, is it a good performance? And I was saying what I liked about it, it wasn't a coin toss. It was an assured performance against Napoli over 2 legs, a clean sheet, a professional assured performance. Emery has got that in him. But today he's let himself down because at the business end of a season, he's chosen a lineup that I feel like is just, you know, as I said, overly complacent. And whilst it was complacent, I understand from Emery's point of view, he must be frustrated because you cannot legislate for the errors that we made today. Mavropanos, I'll cut him some stick because he's a young player, he will make mistakes. But he has fouled a player after guessing on the wrong side. If you're going to make a guess as to a player's movement, that guess always has to be goal side. Otherwise, you don't guess. You make the safe movement. He went on the opposite side, and as a result of that, he had to pull a shirt. Very early on in the game, you get yourself a yellow card, you're treading on thin ice, and you've given Palace a free kick. They're a good team from free kicks, and then the defending on top of that is errors being compounded by error after error. And if you do that, you're going to get punished in this league. And then the offside trap, that's a joke. Benteke, he must be in dreamland with all the space that we gave him. And then the worst of all of them, Mustafi, what annoys me about that, when he's trying to shield a player, the player is going to do nothing without the ball. You've got the opportunity to take responsibility for the ball. You know, when we watch players and 2 players go for the same ball, people get annoyed. I don't mind that, because when I see 2 players going for the same ball, that's 2 men that are trying to take responsibility. They're both saying, I'll deal with this situation. What I hate is when I see 2 players looking at each other to take responsibility. And Mustafi looked at Leno today to take responsibility. I'm actually not going to blame Leno, because I feel like it was fully in Mustafi's control. He shirked responsibility. That is unacceptable. He continually has rushes of blood to the head. I'm not going to abuse him. I'm just going to say he is not at the level that Arsenal want to be at. And Emery needs to realise that and make those ruthless changes. Now we need to go on to Wolves, we need to go on to Leicester and show some real bottle, because when a big team loses, I want to see a reaction, and we need to decide, are we a big team, are we going to react, or are we just going to peter out and have a pathetic end to the season?
Top 4, just answer yes or no. Will we make it?
Pray to Jesus. It's Easter Sunday. Pray to Allah. Pray to whoever you want to pray to. I'm not making any predictions anymore. All bets are off. If I was a bookmaker, I'd be putting my hair out. Because how can you, like, United getting battered 4-0 away at Everton? You know, Chelsea, God knows what they're going to do next. They're a joke as well in terms of consistency right now. Arsenal are a joke as well when it comes to consistency. You go and beat Napoli over 2 legs without conceding a goal, then you can concede 3 to Palace, and you let Benteke score the first goal in a year. I'm not making any predictions, Robbie. I'm just going home and I'm going to pray.